3 p.m. Your outer ring reports unusual movement on the roads south of Tapalpa. Military vehicles, more than usual. Your security chief wants to move you. There's a backup location deeper in the mountains, but you can't move fast. The dialysis takes hours. The equipment is heavy. You'd need to break everything down, load it into a truck, drive unpaved mountain roads, and reassemble on the other side. 3 years ago, you could have been gone in 15 minutes. Now it takes 2 hours just to disconnect. Your body has become your cage. You tell them to hold position, but this isn't a patrol. 30 kilometers south, a convoy of Mexican Army Special Forces is moving through the mountains with air support from the Air Force. They have your exact location. They have thermal imaging. They have a target package compiled by the same task force that was built to hunt terrorists. And Omar Garcia Harfuch, the man you tried to kill, the man you put 3 bullets into, the man who climbed all the way to Federal Security Secretary, is overseeing the entire operation from Mexico City. 4:47 p.m. The raid. The first sound is rotors, then gunfire. Your outer perimeter collapses in under 90 seconds, hit from 3 directions simultaneously. Your mercenaries open fire from the compound with rocket launchers and armored vehicles, the weapons of a small army. But the men coming through the tree line were trained by the same people who killed bin Laden, and they move like it. 4 of your men die at the scene. The rest scatter into the forest. You take a round. Your security chief drags you out of the room, past the dialysis machine, through a back corridor. But there's nowhere to go. The helicopters are overhead. The mountain roads are blocked. Mexican soldiers breach the building and find you on the floor of a back room, bleeding, next to 2 wounded guards. They call for a medevac. The mission was to capture you alive. They load you onto a military helicopter, the same kind your cartel shot out of the sky 11 years ago in this same state, and the rotors spin up for Mexico City. 5:30 p.m. Above Jalisco, you're losing blood. The medics work on you, but the damage is too much for a field trauma kit and a 2-hour flight. The mountains pass below, the Sierra Madre Occidental, the same range where you've hidden for years, where you built a hospital just to keep your kidneys working, where you ran an empire through encrypted phones and mercenary guards. You started with nothing in Aguililla, Michoacan, and then you built the most powerful drug cartel in Mexican history. And now you're bleeding out on a helicopter, above the mountains you never really left. You die somewhere over Jalisco, in transit to Mexico City. You are 59 years old. The aftermath. Within hours, Mexico burns. CJNG gunmen torch cars and block highways in 20 states. 252 road blockades in a single night. Guadalajara becomes a ghost town. In Puerto Vallarta, tourists sprint through the airport as smoke rises over the city. Costco burns. Every OXXO is targeted. A witness reports execution-style murders on the road to the airport. In Guanajuato, 70 attacks hit 23 municipalities. 69 OXXO stores damaged, 18 banks destroyed. 7 National Guard soldiers are killed. Schools close. Airlines cancel every flight. The U.S. Embassy tells Americans to shelter in place. Harfuch posts on social media, praising the armed forces. The White House calls it a great development. But there is no successor. Your son is serving life in America. Your wife has vanished. No one knows where Rosalinda is. Your stepson, El Pelon, has a $5 million bounty of his own, but lacks the influence to hold the organization together. The cartel will fracture. Regional bosses will fight for territory. The violence will get worse before it gets better. It always does. You built an empire that moved drugs through 40 countries and generated billions. You shot down a military helicopter. You tried to assassinate the man who would eventually kill you. And in the end, you died on a helicopter above the same mountains you'd been hiding in for a decade. You're not a kingpin anymore. You're just a case file for the Joint Interagency Task Force Counter Cartel.